There are wild things in our cities. When people think of animals that live in cities, they think of pests. They certainly don't think about wildlife or a stream full of fish. But in reality, urban areas can be home to a number of animals and a number of different species. And that idea that cities can have biodiversity got me hooked on my current project, which is looking at how urbanization, or the physical sprawl of cities, impacts freshwater fish. Cities have been expanding at an unprecedented rate. In the 1900s, only 14% of the world's population lived in an urban area. But by 2010, this number increased to over 50%. And in the United States, 80% of people live in a city. And the greatest rate of urbanization is happening in the Southeast. Previous research has shown that urban land development is associated with an increase in flash flooding events. The water from this flash flooding runs off into streams and carries with it a number of pollutants and contaminants. So, flash flooding increases in stream pollutants and then degrades the stream. Stream degradation is a cause for concern because freshwater resources are critical to societal needs. Yet these resources are continually being degraded by human impacts such as urbanization. And they will continue to be degraded in the face of things such as climate change. Current climate change predictions show that there will be an increase in extreme precipitation events. This means more flash flooding, more runoff, more pollutants in streams, and more degraded streams and rivers. The rapid urban sprawl requires an understanding of how urbanization changes streams and the drivers of these changes. If we want to protect the biodiversity in these freshwater resources and in these streams, then we need to understand what's happening and why. To address this question, I documented fish communities and streams across an urban forest environmental gradient within North Carolina, which is expecting one of the highest rates of urbanization in the U.S. I used fish as bioindicators, so by measuring how fish communities differ between urban and forested streams, I can measure habitat degradation and understand how urbanization is impacting streams as a whole. To do this, I use a backpack electrofisher to sample fish from 50 streams in Durham, Wake, and Granville County. I measured the length and the weight of individual fish and measured the number of species and the density of fish at each of the stream locations. For my data, I found that urban streams have fewer species and lower fish densities than in forested streams. This decrease is driven by a loss of sensitive minnow species in urban streams. And the data shows that the change in community is associated with an increase in developed land cover. I've established that rapid urbanization is impacting my stream sites. And my future research will work to understand what exactly it is about the surrounding land of urbanization that is changing these streams. What's driving these changes? And ultimately, this is all to conserve the biodiversity that we find in these urban stream sites and to keep urban areas wild.